a little bonus video for you all here on this football Sunday. Alright, we all heard the news. If you didn't, CM Punk has signed with the UFC. He signed for a multi-fight deal, and it's not just a one-shot deal. As he said, he wants to make this his new career. And I use quotation marks on that because I wonder how much legitimacy there is to this actually becoming his career. Now, I am all wishing and hoping for CM Punk's success. I hope he kicks ass in UFC. I hope he becomes a title holder. I hope he trash talks Triple H on the microphone before fights and shit like that and challenges him to come to UFC. You know, do shit like that. But let's be realistic. The biggest scrubs in UFC are going to fucking destroy him in reality combat. Now, that's not saying that for sure that's going to happen, but UFC and pro wrestling are on two completely different levels, and that's not knocking one over the other per se. That's not like saying like, you don't need to have any sort of fighting skill or be a tough guy to be wrestling since it's all fake. I know enough about wrestling to know that it's a legit grind, that it's tough, it's rough, and you have to be a tough motherfucker to survive in that business. But going in and actually throwing a physical punch with the intent to knock a guy out, or have the skills to grapple on the ground, to choke a guy out, tap a guy out, what have you, that's a lot more different than saying, hey, I'm going for my finisher now, and then doing it in the world of wrestling, in the world of professional wrestling. I know people are going to say, like, well, you know, Brock Lesnar, he transitioned right from WWF or WWE and went into UFC. A few fights later, he's the heavyweight champ. Brock Lesnar was a legit talent as far as fighting goes before he even got to WWE. Well, not necessarily fighting, but grappling. He was a legit... where the fuck did he go to college at? University of Minnesota, I think it was. Anyway, he was a Division I champ multiple times. He had the pedigree of actual championships to his name outside of the world of professional wrestling. CM Punk, when I see him, I don't say like, oh, that's a guy who I don't want to fuck with. That's a guy who looks like he has the skills, could just whip my ass in a fight. Now, granted, he probably could, but it's not a guy that I ultimately say that to. When I see Brock Lesnar, I go, yeah, I probably don't want to pick a fight with this guy. He was just a rare specimen, just a freak of both skill and size. With CM Punk, I don't see that, obviously. That's not saying a smaller guy like CM Punk can't win in a fight or anything like that. But you hopefully get what I'm saying. I mean, it's going to be interesting because I think he's partly doing this kind of to thumb his nose at WWE, to show he can be a success somewhere else and maybe bring over some of that WWE audience, take them away, take away pay-per-view buys, take away people that are going to buy tickets to see a WWE event and rather go spend their hard-earned money on a UFC event, a UFC pay-per-view, a UFC Fight Pass, which is the equivalent to their to WWE's network. And I don't know, I kind of think that it's just kind of a veiled statement on his part to say, like, you know, he's been thinking about this for years and he's wanted to do this, and I'm like, people don't wait till they're 36 years old to all of a sudden say, I'm going to go into the UFC and be a fighter. How many guys see success in UFC at the age of 36 and beyond that have never committed to reality fighting? I mean, I'm sure he's had a few, you know, fights with, like, you know, siblings or a guy in the street at a bar, what have you. I don't know. If there's a guy that's got a determined mind and someone to, you know, makes someone like me eat my words, you know, he'd probably be one of them, because he does seem to have that mentality of committing himself to something and being, you know, as he would say, the best in the world. But do I realistically see that happening at his age, at his skill set that he currently possesses, at his just, you know, physical and mental prowess? I don't know. I don't really see it. I mean, you gotta be at such a high level of skill and talent to succeed in UFC. I know people are gonna be like, well, he's good on the mic. Well, yeah, so is Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping's great on the mic. Michael Bisping has lost every single important match of his career. It's why he's never going to be a title contender and never going to hold a title belt. Because he loses every big match. In fact, Michael Bisping, I was watching a show on Fox 1 this morning that was recapping the Lawler pay-per-view from last night. UFC 181, I should say. And he throws out the thing, he's like, well, CM Punk is going to be coming to my division, middleweight. I'm right here. Come get me. And like just saying stuff like that, like talking trash to CM Punk. It's like calm down, Bisping. Calm down. Anyway, it just like a guy like Bisping who's starving for attention his entire career and just has never got the attention that he's wanted. Anyway, CM Punk, I wish him the best. I wish him success so that and one thing that kind of irks me is that if he fails and gets his ass fucking annihilated, you know Triple H is going to be just sitting at home smiling with his big ridiculous nose. Stephanie, give me a blowjob while I watch CM Punk get choked out. Anyway, I just see Triple H just like mocking this. Like if he loses real quick, Triple H is probably gonna have someone like booked in a match the next night on Raw or 2 nights later on Raw. Like if CM Punk gets tapped out in 10 seconds, he's gonna like book someone to get tapped out 10 seconds on Raw. Anyway, I hate Triple H. Anyway, CM Punk, good luck to you. You're gonna need it. But as Punk said to Joe Rogan in his interview last night, luck is for losers. Well, then I don't know what you're going to rely on because, yeah, 36 in the skill. Ugh. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Fuck the Dallas Cowboys. It's Sunday. I got football on my mind. Take care, guys.